How you feeling, nah? Hold on. You interview, brother, Mr. Ponzo, Mr. I.
Good morning.
Good morning, brother. How do you feel? Listen, this guy right here, alhamdulillah. No. We're gonna give a little history. IMFC real quick.
Don't
Naeem, no, I'm gonna tell you. This started 8-9 years ago in front of Salam, Masjid Salam.
For sure.
Naeem pulled me and Abu Sajid in the car. He had a minivan, caravan. He was like, listen, y'all, we need to do something. Me and Saeed looking at each other like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just teaching our classes, minding our business. Naeem was like, no. So me and Saeed was looking for a place so we could teach. A little small room.
Shit, come on, man.
Am I right?
Yup.
We was looking for a little shake. This the history.
IMFC Uncut.
No, this the history. Yeah, listen. We was looking at like an old small storefront. What kind of joint was that? The check cashing place? It was a check cashing place, like real small, so we could teach a little class. Because at that time, we was warned against anyway. We weren't really decent. So we was like, whatever. We teach a little class there. Naeem looked at that joint. Did you see it?
No,
We told you about it. He was like, no, forget that. We going to Ave.
No, before we went on the ad, we was just trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
Then I was like, y'all don't worry about it. I was like, cool. I said, I got y'all. Then I kept calling you every night, remember? Si?
Yeah.
I said, Si, come on with me. So I was like, no. And then I'm like, no, this place got this on it. I said, no, I got to find a joint. And this joint had like, 100 parking spaces before they shut the parking lot down.
Oh, yeah.
I said, yo, I'm telling you, I need a location, you know what I mean, And when I got that spot, no. First, when I showed y'all the spot, Ali was like, no, this is what we gonna do. We gonna get all the big wigs in the city.
All the old heads.
We gonna get all the old heads so they can just tell, so we can all be one and get down and all this old stuff.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
We call everybody.
Yep. Ain't nobody.
No, this was after.
Only very few people.
This was after I showed you the spot, right?
We did. Yeah. This was after that.
I showed you the spot. Then I'm like, then you like, dang,
My
now we
not too big.
Yeah, that's what he kept saying. Both of them kept saying that.
Listen, we running this. I said, yo, ain't nobody. First of all, ain't nobody listening to us anyway, man. Ain't nobody listening to us.
I kept saying, yeah.
Why would they? I said, man, why would somebody come listen to us, man? We offered anyway. In the city. Who gonna let? So listen, at that time I was working in a prison. So we had this big joint with them little heaters on the ground, blowing the smoke. What was that joint we had?
For the propane.
Propane joints. Right.
Passed out.
You want to give it a clip? I'm about to pass out.
Yeah,
Listen, with the propane. So we get on there.
Bad.
So Saad called me. I said, yo, man. I said, how many people came for joint? What'd you say?
It was like 40 people.
I was like 40
No,
people.
First you gotta rewind, because remember everybody, all the people, old heads you called down there, I let them see the spot.
Yeah.
Man, y'all ain't gonna do nothing with this joint.
It's going big, man.
It's going big.
Tell me where y'all at now?
Yeah. Because the way it was messed up. It was messed up in that joint.
Yeah, I seen the pictures of the before and after John.
That joint was bad, shit. It was
Yeah.
bad.
And then I was like, I kept telling him, I said, don't worry about it, man. Lord gonna bless us. We cool. I said, just keep, you know what I mean?
Our joint was, how we gonna get that paid for it? We weren't getting no support like that from the city anyway. You gotta understand, that was the height of the time I was like public enemy number one. I was an innovator. I mean, according to some people, I don't know, he's awesome. Am I right? Am I lying? I ain't lying. What was I, Kwani or something? I was something they came up with. I ain't believe it though, but.
Lies. That's all he's doing is lying.
Then I kept saying, no, man. No. First of all, they said, no. Nah, we cool. No. Hold on.
Together.
Yeah.
He with him.
Hold on, Ali.
Hold
up. Tell him what he said. First of all, y'all said, you called me. You called me that night. Both of y'all called me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, we won't back out.
We trying to back out that job.
That we agreed to.
We
was so, we like, man, we ain't doing it.
We
told him no.
We called him. I said, no, we cool. We ain't doing that.
What I say?
Y'all doing it.
No, I said, no, y'all doing it.
I said, I don't care what none of y'all say.
We like, huh?
Y'all doing it. I'm gonna get the bread. We doing this joint right now. I don't care.
That's because we already said we doing it, then we said we ain't doing it. Then we said we doing it. Then we said we ain't doing it again.
Cuz, man, we ain't want that. We ain't think,
Then I said, no. He said, no, y'all ain't doing it.
Honestly, that's what I'm
I
saying.
said, I don't care what nobody say.
Listen,
They done already finagle Aquaman handball. I said, this joint right here, y'all doing this, John.
Listen,
I said, y'all doing it.
At the end of the day, we was like,
How you gonna make us do the job?
we was like, we didn't want that responsibility though.
And I kept
For real,
telling you, I said,
that
only
John,
thing we
this-
gotta do, I said, only thing we gotta do is stick to the ground and soon. I said, don't worry about none of that stuff, man. Just teach the people, man. Just teach. That's it.
That
Don't
joint
worry about
scary,
none of
though.
that stuff.
They've been teaching ever since, mashallah, man.
But that joint was scary though. It still is scary. The scary part is, man, you telling people about a lost deen, but you gotta always focus on yourself, man. And none of us, we're never safe. We're never safe from showing off. Never safe from riyah, sum'ah, your intentions not being right. We ain't safe from that, man.
That's what
Anybody,
I'm scared of.
listen, anybody sit here and tell you, yeah, me cool, man, I ain't worrying about that, they lying. They lying, man. Ain't none of us safe from that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why, but I'm gonna tell you, the thorough thing about us though, like alhamdulillah, we keep each other in check.
Yeah.
If I'm out of pocket, he gonna check me. He out of pocket, check. We check each other. We don't allow each other to get, one thing that Settle always said, man, I stole this from him. Ain't no big eyes and little U's. No big eyes and little U's. Everybody together. And everybody
First
hold
of
everybody
all,
accountable.
I look at it like, out of respect, they my brothers in Islam. There's no way I'm gonna see you bust your face open.
Ain't no doubt.
No doubt.
I'm talking about no way I'm gonna see you sit here and fail. You dig what I'm saying? There's plenty of times I was off the hook when we first got the job. Remember? I was he's still laughing, man.
That's crazy.
I was still like a rebel. And they was like, no, you can't be doing that. Like they taught me a whole lot about myself.
We teach each other.
For real. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, man, you can't be out there. I'm in people's face. I'm tripping. Oh, you ain't coming in here with this. What am I lying?
He turning over cardboard.
I'm telling you, man, I was turning people's stuff over, everything. I was tripping. And I said, no. I said, you know what? I said, they like toned me all the way down, man. All the way down.
But sometimes we gotta get toned down. So anybody,
I mean, it happened to
everybody,
man.
man.
Everybody got
everybody,
checked.
man. Like he said, man, ain't no big eyes and little U's.
Yeah, man. True brotherhood.
You know what I'm saying? This is the imam right here.
Right.
But he pointed to me.
Yeah, so which one of y'all is the imam?
Him, man. You heard him. Who gave the football today? Listen, who gave it? Hold on, talk about who? That football was major.
It was.
Say mashallah, mashallah.
Who gave that?
Then we talking about right now today.
Hey,
He
man.
won that the last.
Who gave the football yesterday?
Nobody.
Right.
We got the
I
other
don't know.
imam. Don't forget, we got the other imam
Juma.
coming up behind, right? He's coming.
Oh
He over
yeah.
here.
He ducked it.
Shit is coming. He's trying to duck, but he's coming.
Trying to duck wreck.
He coming.
Yeah, but alhamdulillah. I mean, we trying, man. I mean, but the thing is, we go from 40 people. We did the first. Listen, when Saad did the first clip bar, right? 40 people. We was like, yo, 40 people came out to listen to us. That's crazy.
Like, there was 40 people.
Well, Lloyd, man, that's how we was.
That's crazy.
So remember,
crazy.
40
Yeah,
people
man.
came out to listen. We was like, yo, that's
Crazy.
crazy. 40 people?
Yeah.
You go from that to 10, 15,000 people? That's ridiculous. And it's scary. Scary. Yeah, it's scary, man. You know, you could say something from the minbar, man, that can turn somebody the wrong way. Or you could say something from the minbar, help somebody get in paradise, man.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's scary, man. It's scary. You know, one of Sheikh Muhammad used to always tell us, man, to jaddid an-niyya kulli yawm. Every day you gotta redo your intentions. Every day. But you never know, man. Some days you might feel like you really him. And then the next day you be like, yo, you really not.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala got a way of humbling everybody. Everybody's gonna be humble before they die. There's nobody gonna be going out like they, you walk around like you him, you're gonna be humble before that day come. For them angels come and take your soul, you're gonna be humble one way or the other. It makes sense though. When the Prophet ﷺ said a person with an atom's weight of kibr is not gonna enter the paradise, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Because when a person's arrogant, you're not, when you're arrogant, you walking around like you really in charge and power. You don't got no power, man. It's all perceived until the reality hits. I don't know any strong man that went out the way he stand. Everybody go out laying down.
Yes.
Nobody go out standing up. Nobody. Everybody go out laying down. Assalamu alaikum.